there's a lot of accountability in place in public schools that doesn't exist in a private school. And so there's an effort to take away funding from us where we educate all students, no matter where they come from.
It is a win-win for communities when all children can flourish in the educational setting best suited for them.
Texas legislators are navigating a standoff over proposed school voucher-like program that would help some families pay for private school. The program would allow some parents to direct state dollars in its education savings account toward private school tuition and other services like tutoring. School leaders across the state are speaking up over the possible ripple effects for public schools. KXAN investigator Kelly Wiley takes us to Seguin, Texas, where the superintendent fears lawmakers aren't doing enough to retain teachers and are considering legislation that would deal a financial blow to an already strained system.
More than an hour away from the Texas capital in rural Guadalupe County, Seguin ISD Superintendent Matthew Gutierrez is worried about how new legislation will impact his 13 campuses. He and other Texas superintendents have been speaking out for months on social media and in front of lawmakers.
This session is really an opportunity to bring the needed changes to public education across Texas. Unfortunately, there are some actions that would be detrimental to the public education system in Texas that are concerning.
Gutierrez runs a school district of just over 7,000 students. The district prides itself on its career, college, and military readiness programs.
You see this red line there?
But much like the rest of the state for the last several years, Gutierrez has been working through a staffing crisis.
I feel like there are efforts right now to dismantle public education in a variety of ways. Education spending accounts which would fund private schools that would be immune from the accountability that exists with public schools, from state assessments, from financial transparency, from public information requests, from open meetings. There's a lot of accountability in place in public schools that doesn't exist in a private school. They can have selective enrollment. They do not have requirements to educate students who are special education or emergent bilingual. And that is absolutely unfair.
Public school districts are funded in Texas based on attendance and enrollment. Some Texas school leaders say the introduction of a voucher-like program would pull money from an already underfunded system.
Our Catholic schools.
But school voucher supporters, like Jennifer Allman with the Texas Catholic Conference of Bishops, that operates 250 private Catholic schools across Texas, told lawmakers vouchers would not harm public schools.
We estimate that 90% of our schools will participate and have the capacity to add around 20,000 students. Most students will continue to benefit from a public school education because of the many advantages offered in our public schools, including sports and extracurricular activities that are attractive to families. This is not a zero-sum game where private schools win and public schools lose.
Senate Bill 8, proposing voucher-like programs, would also give back $10,000 to public schools for every student that transfers out. But that provision right now only applies to small, rural school districts like Seguin ISD.
We need to increase the per pupil allotment so that, one, we can keep up with inflation, we can raise teacher salaries, we can ensure that we have the staff to narrow the gap that existed prior to COVID, but has widened.
The Texas Education Agency tells me it maintains zero data on private schools in the state. While private schools do some type of testing, unlike public schools, they can choose whether to take the STAR exam, and those scores don't factor into a state rating for those facilities. We obtained TEA records showing in spring 2022, only 17 private schools in the state volunteered to take the STAR exam.
All right, Kelly, thank you very much. And Senate Bill 9, proposing a school voucher-like program, is moving through the Texas House this week, despite the House voting last week to prohibit state money from funding private school voucher-like or education savings accounts. Governor Abbott tweeted he is hopeful about the school choice legislation that passed in the Senate. You heard the superintendent in Kelly's story talk about the state's struggle with teacher retention in recent years. Our team has investigated that issue this legislative session extensively and shared the stories of some educators who have left the profession. Online right now, we have a link to that coverage in this story in the investigative section of KXAN.com.